you have the best players in the world playing basketball. It's hard to play defense on them. So it may not seem like they're playing defense. And like as a real person, you go out there, not what you see on TV when you're live and you're on that court to get screened by somebody. So you're guarding Curry, the big man comes and screens you. Now you have to fight over that screen.
Yeah, like 1 second.
Yeah, in a millisecond, your brain has to flip, your feet have to move, everything has to connect in the same time. So it's not that they're not playing defense, it's just the offense is so good.
Yeah.
It makes the defense look like they're not there or they're not playing.
שלום וברוכים הבאים לאי כושר הוטדוג, פודקאסט הבייסבול הראשון בעברית עם יוני לב-ארי ואנוכי ארז שץ. שלום יוני.
אהלן ארז.
יוני, משדר 183.
בשנת 183, אבל שים לב, לפני הספירה, התאבד המצביא הגדול חניבל, לא חניבל סמית, אוקיי, בדקתי, זה לא הוא, בגיל 64 כשהוא שתה רעל, או אומרים דם של שור, לא סגורים על אחד משניהם, יש ויכוח.
הבנתי. אוקיי. אתה יודע שחניבל הגיע ממה שהיום טוניסיה, אלג'יר. יש עצים באלג'יר?
כן, אבל אין קשרים, אנחנו עוד לא...
מה, האביב הערבי וכל זה?
סעודיה תכף, אלג'יר שלישית, כאילו, בדרך.
הבנתי, כי כזכור, המשדר מגיע לכם בחסות טטרש, מסחר ויבוא עצים. כל סוגי העצים, מכל רחבי העולם, אם כי ממשדר למשדר רחבי העולם מתחילים להצטמצם, ובאיכות יוצא דופן. בקרו אותנו בכתובת דרך בן צבי 20 ביפו באינטרנט, tima.co.il, כי המחירים שלנו הם לא בדיחת קרש.
כל מצביא שבו אתם מאמינים.
בעולם העצים. אתה יודע, יוני, נורא גבוה פה.
נכון.
אנחנו בקומה החמישית במגדלי, איזה? יו.
כן.
אוקיי, ואתה יודע למה?
למה?
לא, אתה תגיד לי.
אנחנו עם משדר סופר מיוחד.
כן, and please say, and we're going to do it in English, and please say hello to James Webb III.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, good. I mean, you are a known baseball... No, you're not a baseball player. You're... Wait a minute. This is this is a kosher hot dog basketball version?
This is a one-time version.
Okay, first of all...
A special.
You are a player for Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Indeed.
You know that...
They're champion. Israel's champions.
I was going to raise it because did you know that Maccabi Tel Aviv was the de facto Israeli national team at a point?
I kind of get that walking around.
when you were my age, you were basically, you had a domestic team, whomever they were, and you had a team for Europe, which was Maccabi Tel Aviv. All the kids loved Maccabi.
Gotcha, yeah. His fan base is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I think you were a bit younger.
In a good way.
We were a bit younger.
What?
When it was like that.
No, 79.
How old are you today?
Oh, you mean 30. It what?
Yeah, you said you were his age.
No, I said when I was, when I was at my age, I was the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, okay. When you were a kid.
When I was a kid. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. My English no good. And, okay, so we're going to talk about you. And we're going to talk a little bit about baseball. But first we have a little riddle here, a quiz, a trivia.
Isn't it birthday today?
Frank Viola?
Nah.
Joe Mauer?
Joe Mauer.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay.
Almost Hall of Famer.
Almost Hall of Famer. Well, he is, but he's not nice. Okay. Which team holds the record for hitting a home run in the most consecutive games? Yankees, Cubs, Reds, and Red Sox.
Yeah, that team.
Okay, so obviously you would say the Yankees. I think both of you would say the Yankees.
No, but okay, I'll give him the Yankees.
Okay, and you take...
we all have to choose a different one?
To make it interesting, just to make it interesting.
So we have more chances of somebody getting it right.
You have the answer?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get him.
At the end of the broadcast, we tell them the answer. This is how we hook them in.
Ah, nice.
Now everybody will stay on the way. Up till the end.
Okay, I will take the Reds.
I'll be with the Cubs. I like the
Cubbies, yes. Yeah. Let's talk a little about you, James. You were born, by the way, in... It doesn't even say... Okay, so you were born in Augusta, Georgia.
No.
See? See, that's what I'm talking about. You were born in Augusta.
I was born in a place called Killeen or Fort Hood, Texas. It's the military base.
Wow.
It's like nearby what? The Dallas,
Fort Worth?
The city is called Killeen. I don't know how far.
So you were an army baby, as they call it. You were traveling. Your parents were. So did you move to Georgia, or is the Georgia thing complete?
Florida. I moved to Florida after Texas.
They flew above Georgia. That's the thing.
So the reason why I say it's Georgia is because my dad.
Okay, it's
retired.
near Austin. Sorry.
It's near Austin. Mm-hmm. My dad retired in Georgia, and that's where we ended up staying for his retirement and stuff like that. But
How old were you? More or less, not.
Georgia, it was 2004.
All right. So
So I think I was about 12.
It's a tough year.
you know everything you know is a lot. So okay, it says here you went to Curtis Baptist in Augusta, Georgia.
I went to 4 different high schools.
Right. Curtis, the Oaks. I don't know.
So I first went Academy of Richmond County, ARC, in Augusta, Georgia. Then it went Curtis Baptist. And then it went the Oaks Virtual School. And then I went to a school called I went to Adelphi. And then the last year was the Oaks Virtual.
Yeah, we should.
Very confusing.
Afterwards, I will update your history because apparently you don't know what you're.
They have it's mystery.
Yeah, I mean, we had here a good friend of the show, Alon Leishman, is Israeli baseball player who's now coaching for the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
And he was basically, out of all the players, it says he's good friend with who was the
Norwegian, something in Norvegia.
No.
Okay.
He was good friend with this pitcher, and it's like, I don't know why out of all people in the league, this is my best friend. And so they tend to
But you know what it
those
is
things.
though? It's just random people putting information about you that they find.
What is a virtual school, by the way? Is
It's online, basically an online school. So like I did the class
like
work
15 years ago?
I don't know. I did the school on the computer and I would play basketball for the team
Wow.
in that city. It was like a prep school kind of situation.
And obviously, you didn't just play. I mean, did you know you were going to play basketball all the time? Because as we spoke, you played tennis, soccer, baseball, track, cross country, and obviously basketball. That's about 6 or 7 different fields. Were you always going to play basketball, or was that?
No, I grew up a baseball player.
See,
It's why we're here.
Okay, let's go there.
So
Let's go there.
From the age of 3 to about my junior year of high school, I played baseball. And
That's your old man?
I was very good. Yeah, my dad played.
Yeah?
He played baseball. I think he had a tryout for Pittsburgh. I can't remember the Pittsburgh.
As what? A position player?
Yeah, he was. If I remember correctly, it was like
okay.
pitcher or. But he ended up going to the Army instead. So
Which you didn't.
I did not.
what did you do in the army?
He was comms, like support and stuff like that.
All right. Because I was talking to somebody and I said, you did know the army like have a baseball team.
West Point?
West Point has a baseball team. The
New York.
academy.
New York, by the Hudson.
Yeah, they have the army, the navy, and the air force have a baseball. They have like a college team. So they
Oh yeah, they do. I played against the Air Force team in college for basketball.
See, and they're good teams. They're not amazing, but they're very good, very competitive.
Yeah.
So
I started by playing baseball.
Yeah, I started playing baseball and baseball year round. I did travel baseball, high school, or like middle school baseball, and then it just kept going. And then I grew tired of it.
No.
Yeah, but people don't realize.
Yeah.
When you're playing, I played every position. I even caught, and I was a great pitcher. Played infield, played outfield.
Well, you have the
I played every position.
measurements for it.
I played every position, and I was.
You're right-handed?
I am.
Okay.
And then I went to the outfield, and I just was out there looking around because not many people were hitting the ball out of the outfield.
That's Shear's problem.
So I kind of grew bored of it, and I kind of wore myself out. So And I also was growing at the time as well.
Yeah.
So
Because the thing is, there's one thing about American culture which doesn't really translate, is the idea that kids play one thing, today is soccer, maybe baseball, maybe something else. When they get to junior high and high school, they do a lot of different things. And then they sort of like focus on where the money is, basketball or football.
that, or you see where your passion is. I mean,
Right,
'cause-
and that's the other thing. But the thing is, they for some reason when they like the MLB, they try to expand to England, to the UK, and like, dude, there's no way a kid in the UK is gonna play baseball. They're gonna, but they think, okay, he's playing soccer when he's a kid. He's going to play baseball when he grows up. Like in America, it's like
It's rare. It's rare. that you
400
find-
years of. But the thing is, you also we also spoke about it with baseball fans, and they say, listen, baseball is the greatest sport ever, and I keep coming back to but only if you like baseball,
Yeah.
because
I feel like that's with a lot of sports as well. Like golf, if you play golf and you like,
You play golf?
I actually do.
wow,
I play.
But that's like more from old people, right?
Yeah, but it's also more of like a summertime thing. You get to enjoy, relax.
I think post Tiger Woods, it's not. It became like a hip thing for teenagers.
And this place where you were born, Augusta, Georgia,
Augusta, Georgia, they have the Masters.
they have stuff. Golf is a big thing there, right?
Pretty much the only thing that Augusta is really known for.
Tiger was
Yes.
playing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so.
But sorry,
Yeah.
I want to focus on this as a specific point about being bored in the outfield, because my daughter is 13 years old. She's playing now.
Yeah.
I'm missing her game now.
Wow.
So
You
yeah.
see, so when she grew up, she would like, my dad missed my homer because he was.
The first line drive is gonna be
All
today.
because of me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be today. The first line drive is gonna be today. So she's playing in the outfield because they put the new ones there, because she's new. She's just started now.
Yeah, it's like to do with the
And
kids.
nothing happens there.
Right.
And I went to her and said, "Sure, you do it, or you want me to talk to your coach and to switch some positions, sometimes be a third, sometimes be like make it interesting. No, I don't want it. But I'm afraid that if she'll be too long there in the outfield, she'll miss the game.
Yeah.
Didn't you ever think about it, doing something about it?
Yeah. So I didn't start. I played outfield after I had done,
Other
first,
stuff.
first base, third base, shortstop, second base, pitch. Then I, went to left field, center field, right field. Like, so when I got to the back end later years of playing in the outfield, because I could cover so much ground, but it was, you don't have that same entertainment as like the infield.
Right.
So I mean, I think for her, if she wants to, because when you start getting older, the balls in the infield start being hit to you a lot faster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more pop from the bat. You got quicker reaction times and stuff like that. It's all into how.
And
she
also,
wants to-
when you start to become like 6 feet tall, they won't put you at third base. I mean,
Yeah, at first. I can put you at first.
Yeah, first is.
jeez.
That's
They
okay.
have
That's
some
the
tall
best.
first base players.
Yeah, well, but I mean,
Or you could be a 6'9" pitcher like Randy Johnson.
or
that's an
a
option.
6'7" shortstop like O'Neill.
Yeah, only one. There's only one like that.
And he's not gonna stay there for long.
Right.
But that's the thing.
How tall was Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, he was.
Third
he was
base?
like in. Yeah, but
Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod.
Was,
Yeah, it was like,
I mean, they're all 6 something,
Yeah.
but 6'1" or 6'7", it's a different.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing is, we was talking about one of the things that somebody said, a parent of one of the guys, was that baseball is the perfect meld between an individual game and a team game. Basketball is a team game. I don't know. Tennis is an individual game. Baseball is both very, very team-based because maybe insanely so. I mean, you don't, like in basketball, you have it's not like, okay, we have the last out, let's bring in the ace. No, it's who's ever on the lineup. and you can't, if you're on second base, you're basically reliant on the hitter.
Right.
And in basketball, you can take the ball all the way to the basket, and you don't have to rely on other people if you're like the go-to guy. And on the other hand, you have the individual thing, because if you're under the ball, nobody else can catch it for you. And if you're at bat or you're the pitcher, you're alone.
Yeah.
And he says this is, for him, the best of both worlds. And I'm thinking to myself, as we talk about it, yes, but only if you like baseball.
Yeah.
If you don't like baseball, or if your heart is in somewhere else, that doesn't matter.
You know what I'll tell people? To go to a live game instead of watching it on TV.
Yeah, obviously.
The entertainment that you get at a live game, not just from the game, but also just from the fans around you as well.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
drinking beers, everybody's getting into it.
I feel in love in a sports bar.
Yeah.
As close as it gets.
Yeah, true. I can see it because it's difficult to.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If, the first of all, it's always everything looks realer. I mean, I'm sure that people always comes to you and think that they can, throw a 3-pointer like nothing, and then you come to the field and you see where the arc is, where the basket is, and like, man, that's hard.
That and then you have to account for the defense on top of that.
Yeah.
So, it's hard out there shooting it by yourself. Then you got people running at you trying to block your shot and stuff like that. It makes it 10 times difficult. Just like baseball, though. People think they can hit a 90, 100 mile per hour.
I mean,
fastball.
I watch Israeli baseball, and I realize how hard it is to catch a foul ball. Because you're like facing the infield, the pitcher, the batter. All of a sudden, you have to turn around, find the ball that's behind you,
You got the sun, you got the wind.
Yeah, and run in a direction you're not used to, and look up and make sure not to get into the fence.
You got the spin of the baseball and everything. It's so much that plays into it.
On TV, it's much easier.
Yeah,
for sure. You're like, all right, there's the ball, there's the glove.
How didn't you catch it? How didn't you catch it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I yesterday this guy he stood and the ball went by him, the third baseman, and I'm like, okay, if this was Major League, that's an error. And here it's a hit.
Yeah.
Because it's not an ordinary effort. Were you scouted for college?
I was. I had a couple of offers. I actually played travel baseball with a kid that got drafted at 18. His name was Taylor Guerrero.
Oh. I have a lot of
From the family?
I don't know.
From the family?
I'm not sure. I cannot tell you.
He has like 12
I think
kids.
he's from South Carolina.
Who knows?
So yeah, I don't. But I do remember when on his 18th birthday he got drafted, and it was kind of like cool to see, but it was also like, man, if I would have stayed playing baseball, maybe that could have been me or something. It's kind of like hindsight, 50-50.
And also, I mean, in baseball, you have a good chance of getting drafted from high school, at least a fair chance. And in basketball, you still have the one and done. Or...
You have to go to college now.
Right, but one year
or overseas, you could do like LaMelo Ball and go play professionally.
Right.
Overseas.
And to me, that's again another thing. We always said in baseball, you have to have minor league because they don't go to college. I mean, they do go to college. They come as the seniors and then they go to the minor league.
That's 1A, AA, AAA.
Yeah, exactly. Because the levels are still, I mean, MLB, and that's the thing, MLB compared to college, and I watched a lot of colleges and I can attest to that. And of course, AA and single A and even AAA, it's a completely different planet.
Yeah.
Is moving from college to MLB, and you have a bit of a MLB career, how big of a jump it is?
I believe, nowadays, kids are super athletes. The jump, I would say, is maybe not as significant as people think. It's kind of like basketball as well. You face a lot of players that are good, but the ones that stand out, you could tell the difference between like that star player in college and that star player in the MLB. I think the star player from MLB to the star player in college it's a big gap just because you don't know as much or you don't understand as much. And
I mean, even the
little
bats are
things.
different.
It's like little things that
Right.
can make that big of a difference that you find out when you get to the major leagues.
Yeah, and they use aluminum bats, which is
That is true as well.
It's
yeah.
like using a smaller ball.
Wood bats and aluminum bats are. They hurt more when you hit it on the wrong spot of the bat. When you use the wood bat.
When did you say you're a Yankee fan, right?
Yeah, I grew up around the Derek Jeter era. Like I was a Yankee fan, but I still liked other players as well.
But these years you were already in Georgia?
No, I think I was in Florida.
Because
In between, like
the
Florida.
Braves were also a huge team.
I grew up, like I said, like I grew up watching players. Like I know about Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones from the Braves and stuff like that. I liked the power hitters. I was always like a power hitter fan.
It was a big era.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it. The power hitters in the. I mean, there's like baseball fan are like real baseball fan. They like the pitcher. They like the defense. They
Yeah.
don't like the long ball. And everybody else basically likes the long ball, likes the power hitter.
I like the entertainment of it.
I mean, I know a guy from Long Island. He was like the greatest era in the history of baseball was the steroid era, where balls just cleared the deck.
Mark McGuire.
And he's
like
not
those
joking.
types of
He's
players.
not.
Sammy
Maguire,
Sosa.
Sosa, and Sheffield, and Bonds,
Yeah.
and he's not joking. And he's really serious. He's like you went to a
Because
field.
you go to the game to see the entertainment. You want to see home runs. You want to get excited when somebody hits the ball over the whole stadium.
Yeah.
Like
This is again. I know this is like the economy that is in every field because I like a no-hitter. I like when the game is 0-0 in the eighth with traffic and defense, and I know that people will pay money to come and see like a 10-6 blowout with two grand slams on each side. And is it the same like in people you say, oh no, we like defense. We like I'm a kid of the 80s. When I grew up, playoff defense basically meant people got hospitalized.
I think like the bad boy there.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite team. I mean, I'm not a fan, but my favorite team is the Pistons of the end of the 80s.
That's also the Knicks with the
No, I like
Oakley.
I like
it was a very
I mean, I like the. No,
Very
I think the
physical team.
physicality
Very
of
physical team.
that era is great, but it also for longevity of your career is not.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, so I'm talking about like the old baseball when you could spike your opponent and break a double play by rolling into the second. But we all agree that.
Tackle the catcher trying to slide out.
Yeah, exactly. Those insane injuries.
Yeah.
We all agree that today's baseball is better because it doesn't. People don't get stupid injuries.
Yeah.
And for what? A double play that nobody would remember in like 50 games in the season.
You know what it is too? Like a lot of people come to see the star players, and if your star players are out there getting hurt, then that you lose the money of that.
Right.
You lose people coming to see their favorite player because he's injured off of something that could
And
have been
that's-
avoided.
Exactly. I was saying always that I saw the Tigers, Detroit versus the Angels, and the Angels had Trout and Otani, which you probably heard about, and they walked one of them, intentionally. And I'm like, if I'm a Tiger fan in the stands, I'm booing my team because I didn't pay money to come and see Mike Trout walks to first base. I came to
Yes,
see
that
him
is
hit a
true.
home run.
But when you're the other team, you're thinking,
Yeah,
"Hey,
obviously,
we want to win the game, so we don't want to pitch to Mike Trout. We let him get on, and then we'll pitch to whoever is behind him."
Right, but on the other hand, and back to your field, we have the last All-Star who was like what 200 points,
The NBA All-Star.
and people were like, "This is atrocious."
But that's yeah.
and we know they're
it's
not
not only the All-Star. The problem is not
Yeah,
only the
but
All-Star.
this- The All-Star
because
is the
regular
symptom.
season. And
Yeah,
stuff
it's just
like
a
that.
because the All-Star never had good defense.
Yeah.
But
The
when
All-Star
you
is not
don't
for
play
defense.
when you don't play any defense during in regular season, then the All-Star become like over 200 points.
Okay, so this is what I'll say.
Yeah. This dude.
You have the best players in the world playing basketball. it's hard to play defense on them. So it may not seem like they're playing defense, but if you go out there and try to guard somebody like a James Harden, like a Kyrie Irving, and like as a real person, you go out there, not what you see on TV, but when you're live and you're on that court to get screened by somebody. So you're guarding Kyrie, the big man comes and screens you. Now you have to fight over that screen.
Yeah, like 1 second.
Yeah, in a millisecond, your brain has to flip, your feet have to move, everything has to connect in the same time. So if somebody's running downhill and they have a head start, of course it's going to be difficult to try to stop them or to try to play defense, or try to contest the shot. It's not that they're not playing defense, it's just the offense is so good, it makes the defense look like they're not there or they're not playing.
It's true though, the league does its own thing also.
If you let's say kick them, it's a flagrant foul.
Yeah, you can't. So you can't.
What
touch
you
the
did was you basically
you could try and touch.
You basically
you can do it to them.
I mean, what they did in the 80s, in a situation like that, they just sucker punched them. Okay, so it's a free throw.
Yeah, you get a regular foul, but now, like I said too, they're protecting the players because you're paying these players hundreds of millions of dollars. That's where your money's going to come in at on ticket sales and stuff like that. And if they're not seeing their favorite player play, you're losing money. Now they're trying to figure out what can they do to prevent that.
Yeah. Is the season too long, basketball? Because we know people.
Are you saying NBA or are you
NBA?
saying?
It's almost the same now.
Oh, it is?
No, it's not. No, but Maccabi are playing. Yeah, well, again, when we grew up, you play in Europe like 10 games. That's it. And now it's much more longer. The European teams' seasons.
But it's longer with less games. So the EuroLeague season, European season is longer with less games.
You know that Maccabi used to play in another league. Yeah, they're playing in Israel, the domestic one. They played the EuroLeague and they played also how did they call it? The Adriatic one.
Yeah,
remember?
That's
like 3 leagues.
That's like the Serbian league now.
Yeah. They played in 3 leagues the same year.
And that's insane. But if you notice too, like that's why a lot of guys from their careers weren't as long as people.
That's true. That's true. They got injured.
And that's why they that's the thing. People say I buy a ticket to watch on the Lakers or the Warriors, and I'm not guaranteed to see the star player because he may be rested.
To go back to your question, the NBA season you start preseason around October. Regular season is like the end of October, something like that. Maybe in the beginning of September is when they start preseason. Regular season starts in November. They're done now. The people that don't make the playoffs are done now.
Right.
We come in August. We don't leave till almost July. Like our last game, we make it all the way is I believe June 20th.
So the off season is shorter.
Off season is very short. You get a month and a half between 6 to 8 weeks.
And that's it.
And you have to be right back.
But you don't play every day. You don't play
every day, but you do practice every day.
I'm not saying.
And you're flying the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Specifically this year.
Yeah, and flying is not. But flying is you don't rest really.
Yeah. That's what I'm. How and playing without fans. How is it to play without fans? It's crazy. They play their home games.
I completely forgot. We should have started with how is it in Israel? I'm sorry. We should have asked you. This is how great reporters we are. and that's probably the third question everybody asks you. How is it in Israel? I mean, were you afraid? Is your parents like?
It's crazy because what you see on the news and like what you see now.
You don't have to tell me.
You understand? It's completely different, but at the same time, it is. A scary situation because you don't know what could happen, or you don't, like as an American, you're coming into a country that you have a little bit of knowledge about, but you don't have too much knowledge about. Like me, I'm coming from a family. My dad did 2 wars, so I kind of understand the situation and the scenario, but it's still like not a comfortable situation to be in because of the unknown.
Right.
Where were you, October 7th?
I believe here. Yeah, I was
all alone.
Yeah, my girlfriend she was still in the States at the time. She was about to come over. We had her flight for like October 15th or something like that.
Which never happened.
So now that happened. Now delayed the flight, and she eventually came over to Belgrade, November, like first week of
Come on,
October, something
okay.
like that, and she's been there since.
On October, sorry, going back to that, October 7th, like 6:30 a.m., there are sirens outside. Did
Actually,
you even
I was here.
understand what is it?
I was sleeping, to tell you the truth. I was
He
sleeping.
didn't wake you up.
They woke me up, but I rolled over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
that's okay.
at the same time, like I told you, you can hear the ambulances outside the car and stuff like that. So I had never heard the alarm before.
Right.
So I was just thinking it was a regular
drill, something, fire drill,
somebody
something
like the ambulance
It's not like a
or
war.
something like
It's not
that.
like a war
I'm
now.
not, because at the same time too, I'm asleep. So maybe I'm thinking it's my dream. But around
did
like
that.
8 or 9 o'clock, I realized, I checked my phone and I realized
Something big
the
is
severity,
happening.
the severity of it. You know, everybody was checking in, team-wise and managers and players and stuff like that. That's
Were
what
you,
I was saying.
were,
Yeah.
did the team sat you down, all the players, the foreign players, and explain basically what's going on? Because let's say Israeli people were here all their life, needed an explanation what is going on. It was
Yeah, it was like at the time it was just text like everybody, you know, when the alarms were happening, go to your safe room,
right.
Israel's under attack and stuff like that, because nobody actually knew the severity or like what was really going on.
Exactly.
So we didn't find out until, you know, after everything had like
Yeah.
happened, and that's when we kind of had like a meeting of what was going on. This is like what it could potentially be. This is what could happen. This is where we could be. Like, you know, now we got to start looking at flights. We got to start looking at getting out of Tel Aviv to.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just like a very confusing and hard, difficult time.
Before coming here, did you talk to former players or
Devin Smith.
Yeah,
It
people
was
like
Devin Smith was my assistant. He was like one of the assistant coach with the Minnesota G League team, the Iowa Wolves. And I knew of Maccabi. You know, Maccabi is such a well-respected and powerful, you know, organization and team and club that you hear about.
Because you were in Europe,
Yeah,
so
you hear about
okay.
it. And last year, you know, I played for Valencia Basket, so I kind of understood what Maccabi was and what it meant and stuff like that. But going back to your question, yeah, I talked to Devin Smith. I actually called or messaged him right after I got the call saying that I could potentially be on the team. So I, you know, kind of called or reached out to him, trying to see like, you know, how he liked the things that, you know, I should look forward to or like look.
And
you know, try to
I'm
get
sure
understanding
he told you make sure your girlfriend know, because the women in Tel Aviv, they love the players.
Yes and no. I mean, like,
I don't know. That's the stories. Like
yeah,
players love to come
that's-
here because of the clubs and the scene. And
So, like, you know, people like to come. You get this type of weather year round.
Yeah.
You got the beach. You got restaurants. You know, this is kind of like a designated place that players want to come because of the weather, because of the atmosphere, the fans, you know, the whole situation of it.
you get pretty adored here.
Yeah.
It's like royalty and all that.
Yeah.
So let's pause it here because we don't want to take too much of your time.
No worries.
And let's do a quick sidetrack into our how do you say P9?
Corner.
How do you like when somebody has like a regular spot? Is that how is that called? A spot in
do
a
you
show?
mean, like-
In a show, like you
Yeah,
have
like the segment.
segment. Okay, so we have a segment now.
We'll have a corner.
Yeah. So the thing is, it has a cute name in Hebrew, and I thought about it, and I decided that we will call it for this occasion, Batter's Delight.
Battle's Delight.
Batter's Delight, like
Okay.
Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
Okay, so Balad al Chovet, it's Batter's Delight. Never
Right,
mind.
all right.
Put me in cold. I'm ready.
Okay, so the character I think you both should know, Yoni. It's a guy called Jay-Z. Jay-Z, I think he has claimed that he made the Yankee symbol, the Yankee hat, more famous than the Yankees did.
Oh, well.
Because he's been
well.
going everywhere with
Every
it.
picture he would have a Yankees hat on, and he's from, you know, Brooklyn.
Yeah. So again, I don't get a chance to speak to people from the country. How is Jay-Z considered as a fan? I'm not saying you're like an expert. I mean, I consider him like I don't know, best rapper alive.
Yeah, he's one of the GOATs for sure.
Right. And the living one at that.
Yeah, the living one at that. You're right. You know, he's kind of like a LeBron of basketball.
Right. See, okay, so it's not like you have the old greats and you have the current mainstay.
Because I mean, you know, back before his time, you would say, oh, Biggie or Tupac or something like that when you come to hip hop and stuff like that. But him being around like the Biggie era as well, because you know, they're both from Brooklyn.
Right, and he started at the 90s, and he's now like an elder statesman.
And like not only what he's done with rap, like I said, like LeBron, he was on and off the court. What he's done, like
a lot of people,
the clothing brand,
and a lot of people criticize him for being like the GM of the Lakers. And a lot of people criticize Jay-Z for being, you know, too much of a businessman these days.
Wasn't he like owner of the Nets or owner of the Nets or something? So that, you know, he has champagne, liquor, like he is his hand in everything, just like LeBron. I mean, he's opened up schools. And
so who is the Kendrick Lamar of basketball?
That's tough.
That's tough. Okay, let's say Steph.
Okay.
Change the game.
I can. You know.
Okay. All right, so this is from a track called Grammy Family from 2006. It's just funny, he's already talking about the old Hov in 2006, like 20 years ago. And obviously, I mean, this is like the most, I'm the illest, I call it. Like, this is like the main genre of hip hop is I'm the illest, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. And because of that, you always have to try to be very creative because everybody else is saying they're the best.
Right.
So he's saying everybody's screaming they want the old Hov. But the new improved Hov hit like Albert Pujols. Everybody want to hear me talk about money like Phil Rizzuto, but my mind is on Pluto. So let's dissect that.
All right.
Everybody wants the old him. He says, but the new him, he's like the Albert Pujols. Now, Albert Pujols 2006, he was God walking on water. But we all spoke about the stereo area, and everybody says, no, baseball once was better, but everybody comes to see the home runs. So he says, like, the new one sells billions. The old one was selling crack, but that's basically. And now Phil Rizzuto, he did a commercial for the Money Store, I think they were called. I don't know if you know Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah, of course, but I don't know.
Okay, he was a long-time spokesman for the Money Store, so kids of the 50s, 60s, they know the Money Store. But he says, everybody want to hear me talk that money like Phil Rizzuto, but my mind is on Pluto. So he takes the Albert Pujols, he moves to Phil Rizzuto, and then he goes to the money. And then he rhymes Pluto with Rizzuto, which basically breaks the. Never mind, I'm going into the. Because you notice it's everybody, but my mind is on Pluto, so he breaks the flow into the new flow. That's why he's the greatest. He can do that like this.
Everybody screaming they want the old ho, but the new improved ho hit like Albert Pujols. Everybody wanna hear me talk that money like Phil Rizzuto, but my mind is on Pluto.
They said he could have up to like 14 or something like songs in his head.
He doesn't write anything. Everything is. I mean, he's freestyling, and that's something. By the way, speaking of baseball and basketball, I always think about this idea of sports. You don't think a lot, and you said you have to think. I mean,
what do you mean you don't think a lot?
Because if you stop and think, the play is over. You basically your mind. It's like
you have to think.
But that's the thing.
Really quick.
I mean, that's the thing.
It's like pop quiz every play.
But I mean, you don't. That's the thing. I'm asking is how much of it is muscle memory, and you just focus on like big things. Like I see this guy, I see that guy, and let your body do the rest of the work, which you done like a million times.
Everything is muscle memory, like from shooting to dribbling and stuff like that. That's the muscle memory part. But also too is what comes down to it is like as a team, you go over the plays, like our plays. For instance, you cut on this time when this person gets the ball, or you come for a hand on pick and roll, rescreen, something like that. that's muscle memory part, but that's also a read as well on how the defender is playing. So when teams, you go into a situation like, for instance, our Baskonia game, we went into
that's one of the best wins Maccabi had like in the last 30 years.
Oh, really?
That happened last Tuesday.
yeah.
Wow, okay.
We have the top scorer in EuroLeague, Marcus Howard.
Against them.
Shoots the ball crazy. Like Sal makes unbelievable shots. Our game plan, is to take him out of his comfort zone and making him shoot those, the shots like that. So you have to think the game as far as, all right, if he likes to do this, we want to make him do it on the opposite side or something like that. So the thinking part is that, but also too, the game happens so fast, it's hard to do what you think, you know what I mean? So it makes it that much more difficult. It's just all about reactions. And that's where the thinking part just turns into muscle memory. Yeah. Like you've gone over it for the past 3-4 days. So you know what you need to do, or the position that you're trying to get this player to go to. So it just becomes more of like a quick reaction or a quick thought process. Okay, I see him coming down the court. I know he wants to shoot a three. Force him left to the paint or something like that.
Sportsman, the athlete thinks in a weird level, which is halfway between conscience and muscle memory, because they are so connected. Because otherwise, how can you watch like videos of a guy, which let's say works on one part of your brain and then executed in a physical way, which is like a completely different. Well, if you played long enough, to my understanding, it kind of have a synthesis of the knowledge you have and the actions on the field. I mean, in your somehow subconscious, he will try to cut you this way, and he would know he would go this way, and your body just moves along to those positions.
It's like a tech guy going into work and turning on his computer.
Right.
That's how your body works. You're like, okay, I go into the gym, I catch the ball, I get to my form, I shoot the ball, or I run my right leg, left leg. It's like that. But just that thinking part is more of like a game plan situation.
And then it's very fast, and you have to be in top shape to do it.
It's super fast, and like also too, you got to think about just driving to the basket. You see a defender coming out of nowhere, you have to adjust or change your shot.
Right.
Like stuff like that just happens off of instincts or like muscle memory, like you said.
Which is also why we so love it, because it's like the ultimate physical thing, seeing somebody. I mean, I remember seeing Jordan, and to me it looks like he walked on air. And then you watch it like 20 years later, well, it was a jump. But in live, it looks like he was walking.
But it's simple and effective, but it's also very difficult at the same time. Because you have, like you said, you have 7 feet guys running at you trying to block your shot, or quick guys running to try to catch you. It's crazy when you actually think about it.
I think in basketball it's even tougher, because in basketball everybody moves everywhere.
Right.
In baseball,
You have to be aware
when you're
of
a second baseman, you're a second baseman. That's your position.
This is your area.
You're not going to see the outfielder comes to you, or
from the second base to 3/4 of the way to the first base. That is your area.
And
From
basketball,
the edge of the grass to the other
Exactly.
edge.
basketball, everybody goes everywhere.
And sometimes, you don't always run plays. You're just freelance, basically.
Right.
So you have to just be aware.
And
So you're aware of that, but you're also aware of guarding your player, too, that's in front of you.
And I even think that today's basketball is even tougher, because like 20 years ago, the center, like the 5 spot, they didn't shoot threes. They
didn't move. They would just
they were under the basket waiting for the ball. Nowadays, they shoot threes from anywhere.
And you have 7-foot guys that move like guards. Quick.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jokic
it is.
guys.
Yeah.
That's the big issue. They always has the thing that today's players are much more athletics. They get what was used to be like the highlight reel of 20, 30 years ago. Today, the kid comes from high school and he can perform like Dr. J did at the lowest level. And it's the same in everywhere. I mean, you look everywhere. That's why always you think if we had a project about 50 greatest baseball players, and you always ask yourself whether those people, I mean, I know that if they were living today, they would be playing in today's rules. But could that guy be this good today?
I always say that when you try to, even with basketball, when you try to compare your top 50 or your top so-and-so, whatever. You got to go by, I think you have to go by eras because
Right.
what Charles Oakley and
Today he can't
that
play.
era
He
did
can't play today.
to what this era does now. Like, who do you compare Charles Oakley to in this era? Nobody. You don't compare him to Jokic. You don't compare him to...
I mean, I don't see Isaiah Thomas playing in because he didn't have, let's say, the physical umbrella he had in the Pistons, because they would not be thrown out of the game.
Right.
And he couldn't play because everyone would be like, everyone including the other guys, point guard, were like taller.
Yeah.
So he would be at a huge disadvantage on top of the disadvantage he had there.
That's like when Shaq era, the two guys, like the Lakers era. Then you come into a more physically inclined Dwight Howard with the Orlando Magic that could run faster, that could jump higher, that is more cut up and stuff like that. It's just that the eras, you can't compare this era to that era.
No, exactly.
That's not fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
You're not
obviously.
doing it.
Yeah, and it's easy to say, oh, well, this person could adapt to this and that.
Yeah, how did Babe Ruth could play today?
Well,
Right.
but that's the thing. Babe Ruth would not be eating hot dogs between innings.
Babe Ruth is Babe Ruth.
Yeah, okay, David Wells. Now, I read something the other day that really caught my eye, and I said I would have to ask you guys. Excuse me for whatever I'm gonna say. Maybe I'm gonna sound like an idiot. There's a guy called Jalen Brunson. He's from the Knicks.
Yeah.
He beat Boston like a few days ago.
A week ago, yeah.
Yeah. And the Bostonian crowd at home started shouting MVP, MVP.
I don't think that's true. I think that's Knicks fans in Boston. That's what I
It
think.
could be.
Okay, first of all, my idea is that when your team sucks so bad,
Oh.
you start cheering the other guy.
But the Celtics aren't bad, though.
No, that's a
what
specific
I'm
game.
saying.
That's a
I don't know, I don't
specific
know.
game.
I don't know.
They're like 20 games above.
Yeah.
They don't have nothing to play for. The season
Alright.
is over for them. They're first place.
Okay,
whatever. So this game for them was just waiting for the playoffs to start.
All right, but still, you don't want. I don't know.
So, like, I played in the Garden, TD Garden. I played there. They don't. When you're a Celtics fan, you're a diehard Celtics fan.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the
So
thing.
that's the thing. Like, I don't think that they were, or maybe they were trolling, because at the same time, like last night before, I think Philly played the Heat. Philly fans. I played in Philly as well.
Yeah.
Philly fans would boo you.
Yeah.
You're their own team. They would boo them, and they
thought-
would also congratulate them the same game.
That's fans.
That's the thing.
And that's just like fans here or fans in any other place.
That's the thing. I mean, we love New York teams, and New York teams are famous for booing their own players, their franchise, their star players. I mean, this year the owner of the Mets asked because Francisco Lindor, the star player of the Mets, has a bad start. Last time he had a bad start, he was booed out of the building. He asked them to cheer him despite no matter what, and the fans agreed. The fans bought into that.
It's like what happened with Trey Turner.
Yeah, he told him exactly. Let's make him. Trey Turner is a Phillies fan,
Okay.
and
He was black.
the fans decided they had a campaign, and they said we're gonna cheer for him at the
They
later
played a lot
season
of money for him, and he didn't perform.
on his debut year for the team.
I think too, like what fans have to understand. You're not perfect.
Yeah, obviously.
And
but-
also too, what fans have to understand too is you're not gonna win every game.
well,
It's impossible.
yeah,
Impossible.
especially in baseball,
Impossible.
where you
you're
can.
you're gonna have some slumps. You're gonna, some nights just don't work the same way that they should.
I think what fans are having tough time to realize is that it's human beings there. They have their own lives. They're coming with their own.
You know what would put that in perspective? If fans, say athletes in general, came to regular fans' jobs and started booing them or cursing them. If somebody comes to your job, you're at the computer and somebody's just yelling at you, boo, and cussing you out and all of this stuff.
We should do that.
I don't think I would. I think I would probably be in jail. I don't think that's like legal. I don't think that's legal.
If every mistake I make, it's like at the end of the day, as Erez
You
did,
misspelled a word.
Erez had like 4 good things, 2 excellent things, and 5 errors, and I'm like,
Right. So it's, you know, when you put it in perspective like that and you understand, it's like maybe they'll have a little.
let's just say, I mean, the other point I was making is, a lot of people want to play for the Celtics, and a lot of people want to play for a New York team because they would boo you if you're bad, but if you're good, then you're God. And some people would say, no, I would like to go to the Milwaukee's. I would like to go to, I don't want to say, I don't want to say because we have friends who would jump on me, but I don't know, Kansas City or something, you know, not the Chiefs, but the Royals, you know, a small team where if you're good, it's good. But
Small market.
Yeah, small market. If you're good, it's good, but everybody knows we won't win the pennant or the series or the championship or whatever. So, and if you're bad, then nobody's, you know.
Nobody cares, really.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you sit on that? Would you, because you play
It's for Maccabi.
Yeah, exactly, because you play for the Yankees of Israel.
I've also had, you know, lower level teams as well. Like for instance, I played for UCAM Mercia. They hadn't been to Copa in, I think, 25 years or something.
Given
like
a choice, you now have the choice of going to, I don't know, what's Galil Elyon?
In Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
You have the choice. You say, listen, same everything, but one team is you can either play same money, same everything, same level, same load. Either go to
pressure.
The Maccabi Tel Aviv or to a low team.
But then you cannot win the pennant or whatever.
Yeah, obviously you can't win the pennant, but the pressure comes with it.
I think as an athlete, you want to be competitive. You want that challenge, or you want that. I guess you say that little extra motivation. I think the clubs, you know, the higher up clubs, they need pressure as well because at the same time, you got to be dedicated. You got to be motivated to win something. I think that the higher clubs, you know, you have people coming in and telling you like, you know, this is a big game for us no matter what. Like, you know, you're a top team, but you still have to go out there and compete because it's more than just one game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a rhythm sport. So if you're in good moments, you know, those good moments keep adding up.
Yeah, but again,
so I for sure would take the higher.
But on the other hand, if you have a slump on the small team, they would say, okay, work out of it. On the big team, they would say, work out of it somewhere else.
Yeah. No, I mean, the big teams, you still, because at the same time, you know the skill level that you provide. So it's also.
Right. So there's no imposter syndrome. You know what you're worth.
That's like running away from your challenges. Or you face, you know, you got to face your challenges head on. So the big clubs, you know, you're going to have those.
Do you know who Shimon Mizrahi is?
I think everybody knows.
I don't know. I mean, I said I'm out of touch. There used to be a joke that when the team.
Be careful.
No, it's a good joke.
Okay.
When the team.
Because I don't want to get in trouble.
No, when the team didn't get the ball fast enough to the other side of the court, on any offense, he would run down to the coach and dude, that's the level of pressure we're talking about with the guy. He used to be, I mean, that was like...
You know that coming into it. That's like the pressure, you know, everybody's Final Four. Or,
yeah, but that's the thing. We're talking about league game, second half.
Shimon lives Maccabi.
Second half. Anything, it's like that the score is like 45-37, and the other team just scored, and they dribbled the ball too slow. It's like, come on, guys, we're losing this. I mean, that's the level of pressure we're talking about.
Even now, Shimon comes in at halftime to tell us, you know, the game's not over, like to pick it up, or if we're not doing as well as we should.
I mean, some people would say over, some people would say drives to excellence. I mean, you know, you're playing for the Yankees, you're not playing for the...
Shimon is a kind of a Steinbrenner.
Exactly.
That's what makes players and teams and organizations. That's how Maccabi got to.
Obviously, that's not the thing.
That's only because of him.
Yeah.
He had this Elon Musk CEO mentality of like best or nothing, and he did, and he pushed the team.
All the big companies that have success, they have somebody in there that is
you know,
pushing.
that is driving all the pieces to come together to get the job.
And if you think Mark Zuckerberg doesn't put scores for his employees at the end of the day,
It's like any company that you work for.
Yeah.
That boss is, it may not be coming directly from the boss. He's going to have somebody who's under him come down and, give you a little motivation.
okay.
Want to move to another corner?
Yeah, another corner. Your turn, I think. You want
My
to?
turn? Alright, okay.
What do you want to do? The player or
The mastery player.
the mastery player? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's gonna ask. He has a player in his mind, and he's gonna ask us about it.
He started his career in 1995 in Auckland, and he finished it to 2014 in Cleveland. Okay, that's one. He dingered 440 home runs. Okay, he has one MVP, and he was playing pretty much first base and DH. Who's the guy?
Was it your era? No, eh?
Oakland A's.
Start of the 2000s, late 90s, start of the
First
2000s.
base.
I would definitely say Jason Giambi. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
nice.
Yeah, thank you. There's a thing. Yoni said that the player that we should choose must be a famous one, and he kept saying it has to be Giambi and above. So the moment he says Oakland and first baseman,
So he gave you hints leading up into
yeah,
this.
exactly.
If you were listening to our pods, you would
Maybe I
know.
would-
You would
okay.
know.
But okay, so that's a good transition. Do you listen to okay? Do you even think about basketball outside this, or is it for you like a day job?
No, it's a every minute job. Like,
So you listen to a podcast or watch?
I'll do a little bit of, like you see, like right now it's not basketball on, but if I was to hit back, it would just be all basketball stuff from Euroleague to Spanish League to
Oh,
NBA.
you follow Valencia because you played there last
Not even
time?
Valencia, but like I played for Mercy as well, like I said in Spain. So like just the league because the
Is
domestic
Valencia
league,
good? I only know Barcelona and Real, so.
No, they're like second tier, right?
All right.
yeah,
Pretty much.
How is it in Spain? Still insane?
Yeah, Barcelona and Real are
Yeah,
top.
Barcelona.
So you follow your college.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't. No, I don't.
No, that's okay.
Not anymore.
I mean, it's Boise,
I've
Idaho.
been,
Come on.
But I've also been away from Boise for what is this, 8 years now.
How is it, by the way? Is it? I mean, all I know about Idaho is for me like it's like
Potato.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's,
what everybody
it's the
knows.
thing. It's like
Boise's better than people expect it to be. Like
Yeah,
you
I know.
have the city, so it's like in between. Yeah. But they have they have the mountains, beautiful snow,
Yeah,
and stuff
obviously.
like that, and they also have like the downtown city area. So like you get a little bit of both.
I have to.
Soccer and basketball.
Okay, I just clicked something. What happened to the dreadlocks? I just clicked and it's like poof.
Yeah,
you're,
I cut them off last year. Well, this summer.
Oh,
This was this past summer.
why?
For Shimon?
Nah, for me, I was growing them for I think it was 4 years.
Dude, with my haircut, I say if you can grow them as long as you can.
I mean, that's like my third or fourth, fifth, sixth
Fourth
time
run.
cutting them. Tight. Like I used to have hair down to my back. And
The girlfriend didn't want it?
No, it was more of a personal thing. Nobody really asked me to do it. It was just more for me. Easier to take care of. I don't have to get them done or find somebody out here that can do them.
So we started talking about it, but we didn't really get into it about playing without fans. Playing in Europe and not in Israel.
Can you explain? Because I'm guessing other people have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
boys.
because of the war, Maccabi can't play in Israel. So all the EuroLeague games are hosted in Belgrade, and they're playing like nobody's there. And Maccabi fans are so much big thing.
Maccabi fans are so big that one of the reasons Maccabi is getting this favorite nation added from the EuroLeague is because they know if Maccabi is in the Final Four, there's gonna be a full house in the Final Four.
Yeah.
The dream is like a Final Four with
Maccabi, Panathinaikos,
exactly, Maccabi
which
and the
won't
Greek.
happen.
Yeah.
But
They're playing now
if
again.
there's like I don't know, Fenerbahce,
Even
Real,
Baskonia.
yeah, this is a nightmare for them. They're looking at basically are going to have to pick up people in the streets.
Yeah.
And so this is the Maccabi fans, and
So
you playing.
how is it to play without the fans?
Oh my god!
So imagine COVID year. Everybody experienced it.
Yeah.
Right.
Year,
Yeah.
as fans. it's like COVID year, but for one team.
Yeah.
Us.
Only you.
You know, we have our significant others and people, like few people that come to the game. But it's not fun at all. For one, it's silent. You just hear the shoes squeaking. Yeah.
It's like a practice.
It's like an open practice that nobody can come to.
When the big games.
Oh my God! And when you whispered, and when you got somebody and you whispered to him, did you know you and me and your mother and everyone can hear you, and it's like, oops.
And you could experience it against Apoel in Israel. You could see what the fans mean here.
So we played our first game, against Partizan here at Menorah.
Oh, before the war.
Before, that was our only game. Amazing atmosphere.
Yeah.
We've lost a couple of games by 1, 2, 3 points, something like that. If we would have had the fan support that we had, it would have been a different. Yeah, it would have been a different story.
People come to Maccabi games; they don't follow basketball or Maccabi.
Right. So for us to win 20 games in a regular season without fans,
wow,
the whole year,
It's amazing.
you
Without
know,
a home.
like that, the mental fortitude that we had to have, to just keep on trucking, catching flights. Coming back, playing Israeli games, go back to Serbia. Like, it was,
Living in Ben Gurion.
like,
it's
it
insane.
was. I flew out of the airport. I know everything about that airport so much, but it was just, the stress alone, not being, like I said, my girlfriend's been in Belgrade since November.
Oh, she's there.
She's there, yeah, in an apartment there. So, like, people don't get to see their families. Other people have children, their families, and kids and stuff like that are going through, like, the war situation without a, idea of what's going on and things like that. It's just been a stressful year, but at the same time, what makes it good is the team bond that we have and, like, the chemistry and the family.
It looks like that.
Yeah, or that we have between each other, and, like, Oded having the family and stuff going on that he has. Like, everybody, it's just, everybody had their own stuff going on top of the war situation and things like that, but we all came together and still locked in and, got the job done.
It's amazing. Your coach is a player. I know people who idolized when he was okay, I don't look about you. I'm talking again. He was national. He played for Hapoel Galil Elyon, and he played for Panathinaikos, and he's like, and Maccabi and the team and the Israeli team and friends. I have friends who had posters of him, so it's kind of funny that now he's your coach.
I grew up on him.
And going from a player to having a career cut short due to injury and stuff like
very
that.
early. Very early.
It's tough, and that can take a toll on somebody. But for him to flip that and turn into, one of the greatest coaches in EuroLeague and stuff like that, it shows his mental toughness as well. And I think that his mental toughness kind of trickled down into the players this year without
That's amazing.
how to handle everything.
Yeah, cool.
You remember your first game you've been to?
I've only been to a couple. I believe it was actually the Braves at Turner Field.
Wow, Turner Field.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it was a Braves game at Turner Field.
So I haven't been to Yankee Stadium yet.
The new stadium.
Yeah.
In Miami, I feel like that's...
No, the Yankee Stadium.
Oh, the Yankee Stadium? No, I never.
Not
been.
yet.
I drove past the Mets Stadium when I was playing for Brooklyn, but never been inside.
Okay, so you have something to look for.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I do.
listen, James, I mean, this is great. We can, as you can see, we can speak for another couple of hours, but it's Friday and you probably have other things to do.
And she is playing.
Places to be, kids to watch, mothers to visit, and everything else. So we'll finish here. Unlike baseball, we do have a clock and we do know when the game is over. It won't be before I tell you which team holds the record for hitting a home run in the most consecutive games. You said, James, Yankees. I said the Reds. You said the Cubs. C is the Red Sox. And the answer is, the guest has it. The Yankees homered in 31 consecutive games.
Wow.
And it actually happened 2019.
Yeah, I remember something happened then. Yeah. And we were playing in England, in London, through this thing.
Right. Snapping the record of 27 straight held by the 2002 Rangers. The streak ended on July Second, when failed to homer against the Mets at Citi Field.
Thank you very much.
You're my pleasure. We're always happy to serve you in this. אוקיי, נסיים בזאת. ניתן למצוא אותנו באתר בייסבול פודקאסט, co.il, אני מדבר בעברית, אני די בטוח שהמאזינים שלנו עכשיו כזה, what is he saying? What is he saying? או ביוטיוב, youtube.com/strudel_hotdog. תוכלו למצוא את הפודקאסט באפל פודקאסט, ספוטיפיי, גוגל, כמובן בכל האפליקציות. דרגו אותנו, תנו לנו משוב, סמנו לייק ופרגנו ב5 כוכבים. ככה פודקאסט יקבל יותר חשיפה אצל חובבי הבייסבול שעדיין ישנם שם. ג'יימס, I can't tell you how much, I mean, you've entertained us in your own home for this. This is like a huge thank you. And we also have a great thanks for our executive producer, Chaim Katz. You know, I gave him some baseball cards, but he told me, hey man, I lost my glasses and now I can't read. I said, that's okay, you can still look at the pictures. Pictures? ניתן להמשיך את הדיון בפייסבוק או באתר המאדרשיפ שלנו הופסי.il. בייסבול ישראלי כל יום שלישי וחמישי משעה 8 בערב בערוץ היוטיוב של איגוד הבייסבול, youtube.com/strudel/israel/baseball/live. יוני, משהו לא מה לפני שסוגרים?
תודה לניצן על העזרה בשידוך ובאירוע הזה.
תודה רבה. Thank you James, thank you ניצן, ו-thank you to you for listening to A כושר hotdog with יוני לב-ארי and דרז שץ, ובייסבול טוב ישראל.
יאללה ביי.
Swung on a drill to right field. Doing back Sanders on the track at the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! A home run!
Yeah, because I'm bad with dates. So the thing is, I was like, he says, you know how to remember that? I said, okay, how? Well, the bomb on Hiroshima went off on August 6th, and the bomb on Nagasaki on August 9th. So it's Hiroshima times 3 or Nagasaki times 2.
Of course. Everybody will do that.
See, this is the kind of people I grew up with. Probably the two questions everybody asks you is how tall are you? And whether or not your son would be also called James Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
No, I mean, are those the two questions everybody asks you? Or I mean, the first probably.
Most of the time, like if you know me, people ask like all the time because I'm getting to that age to where like kids are in the future and stuff like that. So they always ask me like if I have a son, like I name him the fourth.
Right, see?
The answer is still I don't know.
No.
Yeah, obviously you don't. Yeah, but first of all, let's get there.
Yeah, once we get there, we'll figure it out.
And the high thing, everybody knows because they have the data, so they don't ask you anymore.
Yeah, or like, just random people in the elevator or
How tall are you?
stores or restaurants and stuff. Shortstop, infield.
If you can, by the way, if you can turn up a bit the air conditioner.
Yeah, no problem.
This is frying my brain.
No problem.
No, sorry.
It gets cold, just so.
No, it's okay.
He likes cold.
Yeah, I like cold.
I do too, but no, the way that I like cold, people don't like it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a hot person as well.
Me too.
Yeah, I always say, I mean, the sound of the ball on a wooden bat is one of the most beautiful sounds.
Oh, great.
Aluminum bat is one of the most uglier sounds I know.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah. Yoni, questions?
His Hollat's just coming in as well, missing. Oturu fails on the follow and Tamir Black forces the issue. And in transition, James Webb III, his three-point shooting problems behind him. James Webb III